All right. So, the big project that I started was making a 3D model of my character. However, I realized that what I should have been going for is like a live 2D. Like, I did some digging, and I think live 2D would be better. And then we can always convert it to a 3D model later. But just to have like the art and stuff ready. So we're about to begin the incredibly long and arduous process of someone who is, as you can see, can do some art. Sometimes. This took me a while. I don't remember how long. In turning that into like a proper live 2D model like you see all those streamers having. And then maybe we turn it into a 3D model later. Let's begin. I think the first thing we need to do is figure out, because I'm not used to designing characters, so figure out our body shape. Because I know I want this guy, but as you can see, the body itself is funky. So let's see, I have some images pulled up, and I think we're either going to go, let me use the line tool here, going to go with a rectangle or a trapezium, whatever that is, just based on this, because I don't like the look of, I don't think the look of square, inverted triangle would really work with this character. So probably one of these two would probably work best. So here's what we have so far. Let's overview that, I suppose. We have the beak shape. We have some beak angles we like. I guess it just depends. We might have to make separate models for like depending what side of the screen I put my character on. But I like this kind of downward right or like neutral right. I don't want to do an upward right. And then we know we want the blue tie to be able to move around quite a bit. And then, oh, I just realized something. This Krita is not a raster-based program. It's vector or raster? I don't remember. One is pixels, one is math. And because of that, all our characters will end up looking pixely. We might need to switch programs. So I'm gonna look some stuff up, see what I can find. We do not need to switch programs. A lot of live 2D models do use raster instead of vector, so that's good. Alright, so right now we're trying to visualize our character in a 3D space as if they were, if you could see them 360. So as you can see here, you can kind of see the outline. I also made the changes because if this is cool, interesting, but it doesn't make sense. This makes a little bit more sense if it was in a 3D space. Then I'm just drawing boxes, trying to just understand how it would be shaped. And then we'll have to go into, I think we'll go into the anatomy next. If we need to understand the shape of our character and then the anatomy of how our character would work. Then once we do that, we can probably get started on the actual designing of our character. So I've been messing around with trying to understand characters in 3D space, and that looks good. I would probably be like there or something, but this looks like you could definitely do something with that. It's by no means like professional or anything, but I think it's an excellent visualization, and I think it's some of the best art I've done. I think the best conceptual art I've done in a while. I like it. So I think just being able to understand your character in a 3D space makes an absolutely enormous difference. This is not what we want my character to look like, but if this was an actual thing, like, look at that. I can already imagine it quite easily what this would be. Then you have your... Sure. This is our funky little character, but look at that, look at that. It makes it 10 times better by just understanding a character's 3D space. So I think 3D space is definitely incredibly important when drawing, like holy smokes. That's also how you get proportions and stuff too. So I guess all that's now I need to do now is just like being able to draw shapes and know what shapes make what. So it's just practice, which is kind of what this is for, I suppose. All right, let's keep going. All right, so here's all the progress we made so far. First thing we did is we got some concepts for the body and just other parts. Then we used some of our old references here to get the general mouth shape as if it was a 3D object. And then we went ahead and tried to figure out proportions and just kind of how it might look from the side. This would be a side view. This would be a front view, though the face isn't perfect. I'm just trying to get proportions. Probably this would definitely be something different, but that's what we did. So if you want to see this whole process, I'll be streaming a lot of it compared to my normal videos, and then I'll probably also be posting my normal videos, including this one. I guess this is a whole series that we're doing. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So we'll see how things go. Not sure what's left to conceptualize. We have some angle ideas. One just so it's just a little bit more realistic, but it's still got that like cartoonish vibe. Because this is very cartoony. This is also very cartoony, but a little bit more realistic. But we want our torso to be turned a little bit more towards whatever we are. And then what we can do is later, once we get this art all set up, we can do an orthographic view, so a side view. I think it's orthographic. Side view, front view, back view, and then we can make a solid 3D model. But I like understanding this. So this is good stuff, good stuff.